The New Jedi Order series, which was a series of 19 novels that told the Yuuzhan Vong War, kicked off with Vector Prime. But before I get into that, let me talk about the prelude before that, what the original plan was. According to the Essential Reader's Companion, which I'm currently looking at right now as I make this video, the original plan was an ambitious 29 books plotted over the course of 5 years. The number will be wilted down to only 19, and then some books came out afterwards that take place within that same timeline, so you could say it added up some more up to 20, or at least 23. And there were some comics and whatnot that tied into the Yuuzhan Vong War, so you could also put in that. So there were a bunch of stories afterwards. After 2006, there was a novel, and then it was just comics, and that was pretty much it. The original plan actually was going to be was going to be the earliest descriptions of it was going to have Luke Skywalker send the Solo children, Jaina Solo, Jason Solo, Anakin Solo, on this big quest where they encounter a female character whose name was not yet defined yet at the time when the outline was being planned, from an invading species sent to infiltrate the galaxy. This unnamed female character corrupts Anakin, nearly turning him to the dark side, which would play from the fact that he feared that he would end up like them, like Palpatine and Darth Vader, his grandfather. Um, but instead, the female character, falls in love with him, which I thought I kind of like Anakin Talia better. I'm pretty sure I pronounced her name wrong, but I kind of liked her better as Anakin's love interest. And Anakin redeems her. And then, for some reason, this was never fully explained. In a fit of intense sibling rivalry, Jason and Jaina turn on Anakin. The resulting conflict tragically ends with Jason's death. I don't know what exactly happened. I think that was the only information we got. Like, I'm reading the comprehensive Essentials Reader Companion, which gives behind the scenes look. And as everybody knows, including me, that very little was made from this outline, survive the subsequent working. Um, the initial idea wasn't actually going to be Yuuzhan Vong. It was actually going to be the original Sith, like the original people who founded the Sith empires, founded the Sith teachings, founded the Sith religion, who gave the Sith the dark side powers. The original. They were described as being predisposed to using the powers of the dark side, but more out of a necessity and for survival than with evil intent, which actually would be interesting to see. And the society would have observed the brightness of our galaxy, and by that I mean Star Wars, for 1,000 generations, fearing an ancient prophecy that foretold they would be brought down by a lightbringer, which at the time was going to be Anakin Solo, but I'll get to that in a way later video. They watched the galaxy go dim into darkness as Palpatine launched his regime, and saw the return of the light as the Jedi were rebuilt and prompting their plan to strike. George Lucas and Lucasfilms and LucasArts and Lucas Books were heavily involved in this project. They wanted to make everything coordinated, everything all focused, all tied together to not contradict each other. They hired a whole bunch of continuity teams to overview this massive project. And George Lucas commented on the story overview, making a number of specific changes. Among them, he disapproved of the idea that the invaders were dark side users, because according to Lucas, such dark siders will ultimately vie for power, which would be their undoing as a group. Thus, no Sith or Proto-Sith appear in the series, though Dark Jedi did appear way later, specifically in Star by Star, which I'll get to way later on. With Lucas' feedback and a framework of an epic told through 5 yearly hardcovers with several mass market paperbacks filling up the plot in between, the New Jedi Order began with a bang. The first book, which I'll talk about, Vector Prime, started out with this polarizing moment, which I will also get into. So, Vector Prime starts out with the rising tensions between neighboring, or I can't pronounce these two factions, so be sure to look it up, and are fanned by a character who arrives called Nomard. I'm pretty sure I also pronounced that wrong, who is actually Yuuzhan Vong, and from the images we get from him, he looks like a cross between the Grim Reaper, Skeletor, if he was in space, if he was an alien. That is the best way to describe it because he looks badass, he sounds badass, and he was a very high position and whatnot. And it really does. It really shows that he's sent in there to try and manipulate things, try to get a quick head start with the other Yuuzhan Vong coming into the galaxy to begin their crusade. And also, this ties into the heir to the Empire to the Thrawn trilogy, because Thrawn apparently found scout ships of the Yuuzhan Vong that were sent out to investigate the new galaxy, and boy, were they mad at the fact that it was technology. I'll get to that in a bit. Um, that that Thrawn decided that, in his belief, he needed to unite the galaxy in preparation for the Yuuzhan Vong, which is why he went to war with the New Republic, which I did not talk about in the Thrawn trilogy video, since I forgot to do the overview. So like, yeah, Thrawn tries to unite the galaxy, but turns out it wasn't because he's the Empire, therefore they hate the Republic. It was because the Yuuzhan Vong were coming and he wanted to prepare everybody. And that always made me curious, if he had not gotten assassinated like he was, he could have been a valuable asset to the galaxy had he still remained. Um, Along with that, the Yuuzhan Vong Empire, as it would later be called, sets out to begin their conquest of the galaxy by purging industrial worlds and whatnot, and start destroying everything in their path. And along with that, they had the ability to control moons and slam them down onto planets, which I'm thinking, wait, Destiny did that years later. Okay, now I get it. In their lore in the Grimoire cards, which me and my friend hopefully will one day talk about the Destiny lore, since they never really explained it in the video game. We had to look for Grimoire cards. Um, Along with this, the Yuuzhan Vong were a very organic based species. They never used technology. They hated technology. They wanted to use everything organic like. It was our bioengineering, biotechnology, and I thought that was very fascinating. This is why me and Joel, also known as Soloris, I won't say his last name out of respect, and this is the internet, and plus the internet is very fucked up. That Well, they're pretty much like the Reapers, except this time they're organic based, whereas the Reapers were all technology based, all synthetic, all organic. And I said in the video, in my Mass Effect video, and our Thoughts video, that the Yuuzhan might be the only species that could give the Reapers a run for their money, because everything is organic based and the Reapers can't manipulate technology there. So yeah, it focuses on the cast of the original trilogy characters and a lot of the new characters like Jason Solo, Jaina Solo, Anakin Solo. And the most polarizing thing that happened in this series was the death of Chewbacca. And I was like, they killed him off in this original canon, because when I first heard about this book, I heard that they killed him off, and it was a seismic event designed to mark a bold new era of storytelling, and it drew an outpouring of grief and shock from longtime readers and Star Wars fans, like um, like Randy Straddledy. Uh, Sorry, getting tongue tied and kind of messing up names, had come up with a list of characters he wanted to kill off. Luke Skywalker was at the top of the list. George Lucas didn't want that. He made Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Leia Organa Solo unkillable. So that kind of diminished a lot of tension regarding, oh, they're going to make it in the end, so they'll die of old age, most likely. But Chewbacca was on the chopping block, and including Lando Calrissian, but they never killed him off in the stories, as far as I know. They wanted to go ahead and bring in this new shock value to kick off the Vector Prime story with a huge bang, and they already had started laying the foundation for that, because, well, they got Mark Hamill to reprise his role Luke Skywalker for a commercial to promote the book in the Sci-Fi Channel before it became the Sci-Fi Channel for some reason, and I thought Chewbacca's death was handled very well, in my honest opinion, because, well, this is what I mean by that. It's because Chewbacca went out like a badass. Like I thought, like he died protecting Anakin Solo from this falling moon, and he decides to get crushed by it with a defiant war. And like, okay, you have just gone out as the biggest badass in Star Wars history. There is no one that can top it. They would try several times, but no one could top being killed by a fucking moon. Like that moon is the only thing that can knock you out, that can keep you down. Nothing else could. A moon had to kill you. So I thought that was epic and also very tragic because we'd be saying goodbye to this character that we've known for years and years, and also caused a rift between Han Solo and Anakin Solo, father and son. Became divided because Han Solo blamed Anakin for the death of Chewbacca because Anakin Solo got the Millennium Falcon out before the moon crushed them, and as much as Anakin liked to defend that claim, saying, "Well, you see, we would not have made it. All of us would have died, and like we had to do something. Chewie would have wanted us to do this." And Han Solo, I understood why he was so mad, but like blaming his son, that's a bit harsh. But I understood he was grieving and he couldn't, and he had to lash out on something. And well, yeah, it was a shocking moment. It also really said that this is going to be a big epic story. And at the time, the internet wasn't big enough, so we all assumed, oh, if Chewbacca could die, then all these other characters could die. I'm like, wow, this is going to be very big. This caught a lot of readers' eyes, especially sending death threats to Lucasfilms and LucasArts, and I thought that was taking it too far, but overall, Vector Prime was a great start for the new Jedi Order series. I can't wait to talk about these books later down the road as I read the Essential Reader's Companion to look it over and read and get quick summaries out of it. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.